You're the Florida version of Sex in the City, JD.
That's when I was smoking my cigars.
Never stop chasing your dreams.
And never say never.
Don't be an asshole today.
Hey,
How you doing?
good. How are you?
All good, buddy. Okay, well, we've got so like we said, Emmalie El Fadli and Hansa Fowler, and these are the women that are creating this indie movie, You and Me Makes Three. So I will let Emily in. There we go.
Hey.
You're right.
Hi there.
Hello.
How are you?
I didn't know if we were waiting for hands off, but if she pops on, we'll put her in.
She actually said unfortunately she can't make tonight anymore. It was a very last minute thing, unfortunately, but I'm here, so it's all good.
No worries at all.
That's okay, no
That's all
worries.
right. We've been waiting quite a while to do this, so
Yes, that's right. That's right.
it's just because I see, I follow you guys, so I see everything that you're doing, and I'm so impressed that you're able in this day right now in this very moment that you're able to make all these short films, but this one in particular.
That's it.
Is this
This
a
one,
feature? Did I say that right? Is it a feature or a short?
so it's technically both. So the short is a proof of concept for the feature. It was first written as a feature, and then we've condensed it into a short to kind of get, in a sense, the ball rolling because we didn't feel like we were ready to make a feature yet, if that makes sense.
Yeah, oh,
But
definitely.
yeah, but I think after this film we'll be ready for sure.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Was this
Our goal has always.
Oh, I don't know what just happened.
was
Sorry.
this a concept that somebody was familiar with?
Um, so, well, the way it came about is it's hands-off's idea. So I'm like the typer writer, if that makes sense.
Right.
But
Yeah.
the story came from her brain. She very much felt like it was it's not kind of based on her per se, as in she doesn't have children yet, but
Right.
she definitely wants children at some point. Whereas I'm like the opposite. I'm like, I could do them, that's fine. Um,
Nothing
but
wrong with
yeah, but
that.
so it came from her. It's kind of her idea, her story
A
in
brainchild.
that way. Hopefully future, I guess. But yeah, but also the reason we're making it is so how we came about as filmmakers is that back in 2017 we met. We realized that, especially back then, obviously things have changed a bit now, but there
Sure.
just wasn't enough positive lesbian representation in media. Like, there was your Bury Your Gays, all of that. There was a lot of that back then. And so we just thought, let's just try and, do our part, if that makes sense. So we
Yeah.
made our first short film, which was called The Date, which was very simple. It was just two women meeting for the first time, and going on their first date after swiping right, basically. And that was really cute, and everybody loved it. And, lots of messages were very much like, oh, we're so happy that like it's a nice ending and it's cute and it's, it's what we want.
Yeah.
Um, and then I kind of went off and made my own film called From A to Q. Hands Off was involved as a producer, but she didn't write it or anything like that. And again, that was positive with more hints of drama than obviously our first film, but just because that was a very personal story to me. So I didn't want to just be all like, woo, up and, happy and whatever, but it had a happy ending. It had a happy message. It's just that I guess I'm more on the drama side of
Yeah.
things.
Right.
And then, when Hands Off and I decided, okay, let's continue, she came up with the idea of the story of these two women trying to start a family, the ups and downs, but very lighthearted, very comedic, because again, we felt like we weren't really seeing that. And yeah, so that's kind of like where we came from and why we're making these films. And I cannot remember your question, to be honest. I don't know if I just went on a weird
No,
little
that was
side
it. It was just like
quest.
like I'm literally just wondering if anybody had gone through it and this, kind of was highlighting, the
Yeah, like
comedy part of it,
firsthand.
like I just, yeah, that
Yeah.
was my first thought, but I can see where, it could be a comedy,
Yeah,
just especially if it's a first timer, if there are two people going
yeah,
for the first time
mm,
and,
yeah,
they're, you know,
Hmm.
doing their research and,
yeah,
I mean, we're so far past the days of a turkey baster and a donor,
yeah,
so it's
yeah,
I
yeah,
like the fact that you made it as a comedy because there's so much drama. Like when
yeah.
there's anything around this subject
yeah,
with this fertility,
yep,
it's usually drama and sad, and so
heavy,
it's
yeah,
nice
heavy,
that it's heavy, that it's comedy, it's lighthearted.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I
that was
mean,
the first thing I thought was a really cool thing about the film when I
oh,
did
thank you.
a deep dive into what you're doing.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, we did do our research, don't get us wrong. Like, it's not a personal story, as in we went through it, but as soon as we started writing it, we wanted to get the facts right. Obviously, everyone's journey is different. Like, we've spoken to a lot of women who it
sure,
took years to get pregnant, and then we spoke to a couple literally the other week where it was like, one try, it was their best friend, it worked, they have a baby. Like you
wow,
can't it can't be a story about everybody, it's just
yeah,
like
Right,
yeah,
our
right.
characters' journeys. We're kind of taking a little bit from everywhere and everyone and like um we actually spoke to our producer a few weeks ago and she came up with this great idea for like the beginning of the film which kind of changed. Like we originally had it written a certain way, and then we brought on this development producer to kind of help. And she kind of came up with such a great way to open it up and to also kind of let the viewers know that like everyone's story is different. Like you will see different things happening, and not to just go,
yeah,
well, that wasn't our journey, so how dare you make fun of
Right.
it or whatever. And it's like, well, we're not. This is someone
right,
else's journey. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
yeah, we
yeah,
did our research for sure. And
excellent,
things have
excellent.
changed so much since, we started writing it, I think 2018. So yeah,
Oh
Oh,
wow,
wow.
a lot of everything has changed. So that's why it's taken us so long as well, is because we were trying to get it right.
sure.
We started as a feature. Obviously, the feature went through um, the conceiving, like how to get to, getting pregnant, and then the 9 months of, and then whatever happens after. So obviously, that's a lot fuller than in the short film, which is just like how they might or might not get pregnant. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
That kind of thing. Yeah.
Huh. That's fantastic. And you guys, are you based here? Are you in London?
We're in London. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
based in the UK.
So
Yeah.
did you film here?
Well, we haven't shot it yet.
Oh, you're still in that phase.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So we're
Okay.
still in the pre-production phase. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
awesome.
We're hoping to film in May of this year, if all goes well. Fingers crossed.
Right.
Um, but yeah, super excited. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's fun. That'll be
Awesome.
great. Yeah.
Thank
And you
you.
guys had, like any other indie filmmakers, had
Yeah,
to raise money for this.
we did. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it was a lot of, Indiegogo kind of, fundraising and stuff like that, like trying to get
Yeah.
donations and
So what we actually tried to do with this film, because our last two films did really well, we actually thought we might be in a chance, like in with a chance with like grants,
oh
but
yeah,
we didn't. And it was very sad. Like we actually applied to a lot of grants and we thought, hey, look at our success. Look at, people
yeah.
want to see
Our
this.
track record. Yeah.
Yeah, people want to see this. It's a story that's not really like there's not a lot of this type of story out there, especially not comedy. And but unfortunately, I think it's because at the beginning we were trying to raise all of the money. So we were like, this is how much we need. Are
Right.
you able to supply us with this money?
Right.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, what we've learned over the last like 9 months is something that, oh, actually, it's probably coming up to a year now since we've been trying to get our funding, is that with a lot of grants, you actually need money to start with. So a lot of grants think you're more, what's it called? You're more,
Established.
no, more like, oh my God, what's the word I'm looking for? Like you really want this to happen, so you've gone and
Oh,
done, or even if you put in a little bit of your own money, it means you really want this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And and unfortunately, we didn't have that to start with. So then we started a crowdfunding campaign. Um, we got a little bit of money, which is great, and then we did a private one. Well, actually, we started with a private one. We got a bunch of money, then we went live, got a little bit of money. Then we went private again, and just a few people kind of gave. But we're in a good place now to either try grants again and say, this is how much we've got, we just need this much to finish it off,
Right.
or just try and make it with what we got and see what
Right.
happens. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
wow.
Micro budgets are like the new the new way of
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
Yeah.
things, you know,
Yeah.
like a micro
it's
budget
crazy.
film production is not
But
not unheard of these days. You know,
I know, but
it's rough.
unfortunately, things are so much more expensive now. Like,
Right.
I don't know how it is in the States or in Canada or whatever right now, but in the UK, work in film and TV is dead. Like, you're lucky if you have a job right now, or
Yeah.
if you get your next job.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, which means that trying to make a film on nothing where you kind of can't really pay your crew or you pay them really little and stuff, it's really, really hard. Like
Oh,
it's not
totally.
like a few years ago before lockdown or before like actually the strike, like the actor strike, really,
Yes.
really messed everything up.
It
So I mean,
changed.
I understand people need to live and stuff, but that means that indie films, it's really hard to kind of get them made.
Oh,
Like,
totally.
yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
That's got
Bless
to
your
be
heart.
Mm.
totally daunting to have this thing, this vision. It's hard
Yep.
enough to get the actors, and now you need to get the money, and now you have to convince them that you really, really want to do this, and you need to. I
Mhm.
mean, to for someone to make an indie film, you have to really have your heart and soul and dedication.
Yeah.
Must become your life, right? I mean, that must become
Yeah.
take over your entire life's existence, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like
Yeah. You just,
socially,
yeah.
everything, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean,
Do you
that's
feel
it.
like
It's
you, in the planning stages and, presenting it kind of like
mm,
to people, like this is our script, this is what we want to do. You're also building a community
yeah,
of possible people that want to donate
yep.
and also people that want to be a part of it in some way. I
Yeah,
mean, like you got
Yeah.
like somebody's
Yeah.
mom making food for the craft
Right.
services,
Right.
and you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like it becomes an all hands on deck thing.
it does. Yeah,
Everybody helps carry it over the finish line. But I think
Exactly.
what a lot of people don't understand is when you call cut and say it's a wrap, it's nowhere near done. It's like
no,
the
Exactly.
editing, the post,
yeah,
putting it
yep.
in post, and there's such a long way to go from
Mhm.
there. But it's you're doing it like in hurdles.
Yeah,
Yeah. So it
yeah,
is it's not something that gets done. Everybody memorizes their lines. They come in, they shoot, and everything is like out of order and
yeah,
you're putting it together later on, and it's really detailed work, and tireless. It goes on for so long, and there's
yeah,
so many hurdles to get past. And then you
yep,
got to think about where it's going to go. If it's film festivals, a lot of times you have to pay to get it into a film
yeah,
festival, and
yeah.
it's just never ending. Like how do we get eyes on this? You know?
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah. I mean, if
And
you
then
think about
that's
it, like,
costly.
say that again, sorry?
And then that's costly to get into the film, to try to get into the film festivals cost
Yeah.
money too.
Oh yeah,
So
100%. I
everywhere
mean,
you turn.
luckily, you've got some really good ones that are free, but it's like because it's free, they really want the best of the best, if that makes
right,
sense. So,
Yeah.
right.
but
Yeah.
that's okay. That makes sense. But yeah, I mean, if you think about it, the feature that we'd been writing, that was, 6 or 7 years. Maybe because of the topic, like maybe somebody could, it could take them a year or two, but obviously the topic, everything was changing year to year, and you kind of had to, unless we were going to set it, like back in 2017, and like that is how it was going to be.
Yeah.
Things
Yeah.
changed over time, so we kept
Yeah.
having it back. And then obviously I work in post-production, so I am fully aware of how time consuming the editing can be. Obviously, sound design is like one of the biggest, like longest thing, because sound is like the best thing in film. You can
Yes.
have like crap camera work, you can have shitty grade. I don't know
Yeah.
if I can swear, sorry,
No,
but
yeah.
you can but if the sound is bad, that will kill your film. So
Yeah.
like that could take weeks, if not months, to like
I
get.
100% agree with you. I can't
Yeah.
tell you. It's really strange how it's just been in like maybe the last 5 years that I've really picked up on exactly what you're saying. Like
Mm.
I've, been doing podcasting since, 2006. So I've
Mm.
seen, even a curve in that, but the quality of things, you know, sorry,
Bless you.
quality of things. Like I'll just be watching like a television show and I realize
Mm.
how bad the sound is.
Really?
Like
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
everything. And I
Yeah.
remember it hit me like the hardest when I was watching Tar with Kate Blanchett.
But do
Like
you think there's no way they would have made
I
this like that must be on purpose because Tar is so no.
about music and about
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
and I'm like, it can't be my TV or my streaming service. Just watch something else, on it, and it was fine. And we're
Okay.
watching this, and I'm like, I can't. I couldn't believe it. Maybe it would have been
Okay.
better to have seen it in a theater, with
Maybe, yeah,
loud,
because of course it's
Right.
got yeah.
but that was the first time that it really
Yeah.
like interfered with my enjoying the movie because I was consumed with how bad the sound was.
Yeah.
Couldn't get past it.
Yeah.
But
I
I
mean,
did
things
see a
like
lot of
that. I was gonna say, I don't know if Tar just kind of forgot that people might watch it in their own homes. But obviously sometimes, they get mixed differently, one for
yeah.
cinema, one for TV, and maybe I don't know what's happened, but
Right.
yeah, that's
I
crazy.
always, I always find it interesting, like in that respect, where like all of a sudden it'll get loud, like like music will
Mm,
come on, or for some reason, you're watching it and it's like at this level, and all of a sudden it gets so loud, and it's like, wasn't anybody
yeah.
monitoring? I
No.
mean, I would imagine that's part of what you mean when you say the sound being uh
Well,
so so
Well, to think
important.
of it as
I mean,
like background noise and
yeah,
yeah.
ambient noise and stuff like that. Like you want that,
Yeah.
to
That's it. Yeah, so what I mean is like, when you're editing, you're obviously going from one shot to the other and then to the other. And as an editor, I just kind of put a little cross dissolve between the two clips, just to make it a little better. But obviously
yeah,
the sound designer, if you've got a good sound designer, they'll smooth everything out. Because if in one shot, let's say I'm filming over there and it's fine, and then I'm filming that way and the clock is ticking, it's gonna
right,
go between silent clock, because I'm,
yeah, yeah,
but I obvious and also bad sound recording in a sense of like, if the mics are rustling all over the place, or if I don't know, if they don't pick up wall track or something, so then you only have I don't know. Yeah, sound design for me, yeah, that
yeah.
just takes forever because you want everything to be perfect and you want
yeah,
everything
I'm
to be
so there.
seamless between shots and stuff. But yeah,
It's really,
filmmaking is crazy.
I
It
mean, I don't
always
think,
amazes me when I see at the end, like when the credits roll, how many people
yeah,
it takes to make a movie, right?
That's
Like
it.
yeah,
Yeah, a
things you
lot.
don't even think of, like the assistant to the assistant, the
Yeah.
person who does the makeup, the assistant to the makeup person. I mean, I'm talking about like big films, but like even like in an indie film, like you
Yeah.
probably have that too, right? Like so many different people to make this
Oh
film
yeah.
happen.
of course.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think what I love watching is like when I'm watching an indie drama and then at the end of the film I see VFX artists and I'm like, but there was no VFX in this, but not that I could see. But like for example, in my film, the last film I made, my VFX artist, who's like a friend of mine, he had to paint out all of the like light stands
Yeah,
like in the shot. So there was a
Oh,
dance sequence. This is probably the biggest thing I've ever asked them to do, but there was this dance sequence. And so they're going all over the place, but obviously it has to be lit. like kind of like dreamlike. So
Yeah.
we just left all of that stuff in the shop because we, you can't light from outside, like it's inside and stuff. So I was just like, Josh, can you just like paint out all of these like metal rods, please? That would be great. And there was loads of stuff like that. Like the computer screens, they were all kind of like superimposed, so they weren't like really there. Just a bunch of stuff that you don't think about, and you're like, oh, yeah, okay. No, that's true. The phone, oh yeah, that's it. So yeah, that was fun.
It is.
But yeah.
I mean, it's an incredible, first of all, it's like an incredible medium, like to be involved in, to
Mm,
be able to work in the industry. You
yeah.
know, I feel like you'd never stop learning.
Yeah,
You
that's
never
true.
stop learning because things just roll on and advance, and you're always learning something new.
Yeah.
And that's great because then you take that, into your next film, into your next film, into your next.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it's just it's an amazing, line of work, obviously. I mean, if
Yeah.
you can get a foot in the door, yeah, you
Yeah.
know. But I have friends
That's
that
it.
work in so many different parts of it,
Hmm.
Like I have a friend that's a composer, so he composes,
Hmm.
film scores and
Yeah.
music for television and stuff like that. And yeah, actually, I have two friends that do that, one in London, one in Australia.
Oh, nice.
And that's another, whole different element that you don't really think about. You're just
Yeah.
taking it in,
Yeah.
taking it in. You're like, oh yeah, I like this song, or oh yeah.
Sure.
And then like the royalties involved, if you're using,
Right.
like
True.
there's royalties that are, can
Yeah.
so yeah, it's
Yeah.
everything, like you said, from lighting to
Mm,
music, editing to yeah, all of that. It's just so many different opportunities. Not even to mention, like the location managers, like even like before a shoot, like someone goes out and finds like the perfect place to shoot this scene.
yep.
And then you're pulling permits and having it's okay if we're here, how long are we going to
Yeah.
be here?
That's it.
God, yeah,
Yep.
there's so much involved in it. I just can't even imagine the patience that you've got to have to get go and get them in order.
It's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Endurance to keep on going, like with every no and every time you get a door shut, like, I know what that's like from the music
Mm,
business, and you get your hopes up. I mean, do you have like your fair share of people promising you things and then not coming through on their promises and getting your hopes up? And, it's hard to believe that next thing is going to
yeah.
really happen when people, I think, like when you have a dream and a vision,
Mm,
whether it be like like a movie or a record or whatever, and
mm,
people know that sometimes they don't even mean to be that way, but they like the idea of getting you all excited and being the hero. And then they
yeah.
want to help you, but they really at the end can't. And,
Can't
I've had
deliver.
so many
Yeah.
people along the way in with my end of things that, I can only imagine it probably is in your industry too, where people want to be the
Yeah.
hero and help and then they don't come through. And now you're like, what am I going to do? This isn't happening.
Yeah. Well, yeah, with this film, I'm not gonna lie, I found this film to be the hardest one we've ever made. Mainly because, and I don't want to offend anyone, like, like I'm not gonna say names, I'm not gonna whatever, but I'm sure they might go, "Oh, is that about me?" I don't know, you know what I mean? But yeah, let's just say I have felt quite let down and also kind of surprised at the lack of help or the lack of like support
Commitment.
or
Commitment.
well, it's not even commitment because the stuff that we've asked people to do is like a 5 second thing or it's like a 5 minute like just
Yeah.
I don't know, can you please just post something or can you please just kind of spread the word somehow or can you donate £1? It takes like a second to just click donate £1, you know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
know it's so silly. It's like I feel like people don't Hmm. I don't know how to, I really don't want to piss people off. But like, yeah, let's just say I thought after two successful films, after millions of views on YouTube, after reaching out to the same people that kind of helped before. After reaching out to influencers and people who said that they were going to do these things and this, that, and the other, and just kind of, a year later and still not being able to really, can we make it? Can we not make it? We have to go through numbers. We have
Yeah.
to see how much we've actually made and how much we can, what we can make with that, if that makes sense, And it's like, I just was quite shocked at one point at kind of like how not it's hard. It's so hard because like obviously I'm not talking about the people that helped because I will
Right.
appreciate them forever. And
Mhm.
of course you helped and thank you so much and you're gonna get everything we promised and all of that. Like of course.
Yeah.
Um it's just the people on the side that said they would and then they didn't and then they're ignoring our messages and they're ignoring our emails and they're doing that and
Yeah.
it kind of stings a bit because like no offense but the things you're profiting on is what we're trying to make in film form,
Mm-hmm.
and yet we can't get help even just spreading the word. We're not asking you for £100, we're not asking you for 1,000, we're not asking you whatever.
Yeah.
And also I feel like I don't know if it's with film, and obviously there is a crisis, like everything's expensive, everything's
Yeah.
doubled, everything's
Yeah.
tripled. I understand that people might not be able to give, and that's fine. It's just, I think a lot of people don't really believe it when we say £1.
Yeah.
£1 is all we need. Because to them, they're thinking, well, what the hell are you going to make with £1? But you
Right.
Right.
have to think like, you know, 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. You're on my channel for a very specific reason. I only make lesbian content. I only make,
Right.
20,000 people to give just £1, we would have made our
Right?
thing and we'd be
Yeah.
out making it. But it's
Yeah.
a
That's
thing of
simple.
a lot of people have that pride of like, well, I can't just give £1, but I can't give more, so maybe I won't. And
Yeah.
like, oh, come on, like we just need your
Really
pound.
difficult too, because
We
like
need
I've
your like,
always felt like I always felt like there's people who believe in art wholeheartedly.
yes,
You
yeah.
know, whether, funding is getting slashed
Mm,
everywhere, art departments are getting shut down in schools and
mm,
it's just like a dying off thing. I still think that there's certain people that hold space for art, in
yes.
a way like your average ditch digger doesn't. You know what I mean?
And
You're
I
right.
think all of those
So
people
true.
have helped us. I think
Right.
you're right. I think
Right.
all the people that did give are
Those are right.
those.
Those are the
Yes.
ones I think that,
Yeah.
are happy to do.
Hmm.
Or
Yeah.
they've set aside maybe, something in their
Yeah.
budget, for
Exactly.
Right.
this kind of
Right.
thing because they
Yeah.
believe in it so much,
Mm,
or they've been there, whatever the reason is, they just have a place for, art and helping get things done,
mm,
whatever it is.
yeah.
And then there's people that think, well, what if I give this 20 pounds,
Mm.
or whatever, and it doesn't get made? Or, like what, you know what I
Then you
mean?
get your money back.
Yeah.
Like
I
it's
don't
like
think
what do you
they think it through. They're what
Yeah.
ifers. They're
Of
just
course.
big
And
what
that's fine.
ifers.
Yeah.
What if I give this and then I don't have money to get coffee tomorrow? What if I, like they
Right.
just
Right.
what
Yeah.
if themselves right out of it,
But
Yeah.
yeah, that's yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's the worst.
Of
But
course.
I
Yeah.
feel like I think, when you're in that business
Mm.
for a while,
Yeah.
are you've come across all of it, the
Mm.
excuses, the deflection,
Mm.
or whatever, and then you
I
have
wouldn't want to so much call them excuses because I feel bad about that because
no,
I
but
feel
I
maybe
mean like
reasons.
deflectors, or
Just
yeah,
because, yeah, that term's get like, I'm like,
yeah,
oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but you have those go-to people that
Yeah.
are going to come through, like
Yeah.
they're there, they're all, that's
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's the community that we all want to build on,
Yeah.
is having
Right. Right.
a community of people that are so like-minded, whether
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
in their own project or they're helping with, something else, or,
Yeah.
seeing your work and they're, I don't want to use the word a fan, but they know the
Mm.
quality of your work, they
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Exactly.
Yeah, so I think it's really just hard to find that niche of like-minded people
Mhm.
Right.
that you can bounce ideas off of and say, hey, like, why don't we do an initiative,
Mm.
or whatever. Like if somebody donates this much money, they get that. And there's
Yeah.
people who, like, bang out ideas, and that's
Yeah.
fantastic. But
Yeah.
when you're trying to do everything, I feel like,
Mm.
that it's really hard to
Yeah.
focus on one certain thing,
Yeah.
so it's a
Right.
like we talk about that all the time, don't we, JD? When you're the one doing the
Ugh, all the
scheduling and the
hats.
PR for it and the actual performance, and
Mm.
it's like, oh my God, it's so heavy that if you had just a little bit of help,
Oh
Mm.
yeah.
to free
I
your
mean,
mind up a little bit and focus, you'd have such a better product,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
hard
Yeah.
to wear all the hats, and with the indie projects a lot of times you end up having to do that. And I often think, how great would it be if all I needed to do was worry about making the music, but no, I got to worry about all of it. And I think it's right what you say, Denise. Like, if you make people in an indie project be part of it, if they're
Mhm.
people that care about the
Yeah,
art,
yeah,
Yeah.
then they're more excited about it. And I've
Yeah.
seen
I agree.
people in the music industry or whatever, the music
Mm.
world, do that. And then it makes it different, like, because they're part of it. So it's like, oh, we want you to be an extra in our music video,
Yeah.
so come be in a video. And,
Yeah.
and they want to be part of it. They want to donate, or
yeah,
be on the label, be on the album. Well, we used to have album covers, but
yeah.
like, be in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
art, in the graphics.
No,
I
I
think
know.
people want to be part of it. So if they're not a musician or
Mhm.
not an actor, but they want to say they're part of this piece of art,
Yeah.
sometimes that's the best way to get the help from people.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I agree. And actually, a lot of people keep saying that because a lot of my the main people I have on my social media are filmmakers and are in the art. A lot of people say like those are not the right people to try and approach because we're
Right,
all in the same boat. We're all
throw
needing
it
that
in.
money. We're all
right.
making
Right,
projects. We're all, but it's
exactly. Yeah.
like, but yeah, it's finding those people outside, which is very
Yes.
difficult
Yeah,
unless we do things like this, which is go on podcasts, talk about things, do YouTube videos, be invited on things, because then we reach bigger people, basically, like
exactly,
bigger,
I
exactly.
audience
have
or
a
whatever.
friend
So,
I have a friend who's a
oh yeah,
musician, producer, whatever, and he does exactly that. And what he does is he finds people with money who are not musicians, but
yes,
want a
exactly.
rock style life, but also the people with money. Like, he has this great talent of finding the people with money
That's
who
what I
want
need.
part of the, yeah, you need to, that
Yeah,
has to be, unfortunately, that always has to be the other piece of the puzzle, like the people with the heart and the money, the
Yeah,
funding, and that they want to be part of it. And that's how he's done a lot of
yeah,
projects where he got,
it's
because
so
they're like,
hard, man.
right? And they
Yeah,
may play a little guitar, they don't play a lot, but they play enough that now they're going to be in the band, but they're funding everything and they get to be on stage. So you need those kind of people.
that's
You
true.
find
That's
the
true.
money and the dream, but not really all the talent, but enough that you could stick them in it and do something, and
Yeah.
honestly, unfortunately, it kind of takes,
Mm,
and I don't
God, I
know.
yeah.
remember the
It
days when
sound that way, but
I lived in the States and I would get my tax return back. I would always
Oh
say,
yeah.
keep like $500 aside, and I'm going to donate to
Oh,
any upcoming,
ah,
whatever.
that's nice.
And
Yeah.
I would do it just because I could get an advanced screener,
Of course. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
see?
look for my name
For
in the
your name.
credits, have my friends over, and I'm like, that was enough. That was
Oh,
enough
Yeah.
to make me be like, this is so cool,
I
like I
know.
contributed
yeah.
to this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
yeah,
feel like nowadays is, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's about
hard to
getting
get
it
people.
out to those people, like you
Yeah,
said, who
yeah,
find it
it's hard to
exciting,
get
who
people.
work in a bank and go, look, I'm in a film,
Yeah,
or like who work in
exactly,
you know what I mean?
Or
Like,
some
exactly.
boring
yeah,
job they make a lot of money at, but they want to do this other cool thing.
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Those are yeah. That's the demographic right there.
Yeah.
But do you,
Well, if anybody's out there,
yeah,
yeah, what the hell? There you
we got a big reach. I'm sure we
go.
have some
Yeah.
bankers. But I guess, the thing of it is it kind of keeps you, having to do it this way does kind of keep you stunted a little bit in your pace, you
Yeah,
know. And then,
100%.
so I guess, like, do you take on other projects while you're waiting for this one, or is this is it? Just
Well, I'm work in post-production, so I'm an editor. So as a job, I edit other people's films.
oh,
And
Oh,
as I edit other people's films, I get super jealous that they've made a film and I'm still waiting to make mine.
yeah,
Um,
that's
painful.
got to be
so
hard.
yes.
That's painful. Yeah.
But that's what I mean
Um,
by just like all my people are filmmakers because
yeah,
and all my jobs are are from
yeah,
filmmakers and stuff, so it's like reaching the right people for my own project.
right.
um and also all the people I know being filmmakers, they all want to work on it and get paid, but obviously they have nothing to like bring to the table when it
Right.
comes to helping getting it made.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, so yeah, I do that. That's my thing. I am only a writer and director on my own stuff, so I don't direct other. Well, actually, I started out as a director directing someone else's film, and then from there, that was when I was like, oh, maybe I'd want to try making my own. So that's where the date came from, and then I continued it from A to Q, and then obviously now we're doing that. But my dream is to continue editing, like cutting films is my favorite thing to
Yeah.
do ever
Oh,
because that's
yeah.
the best type of storytelling. And so this is also why I really want to make this film, because this film is going to be made in the edit. Like the music, the pacing, the cuts,
Uh,
the humor is all going to come out of the edit in the edit, and that's like
right.
I
Right.
cannot wait to just sit and just
Yeah.
make it. Like
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
And,
yeah.
oh, I'm sorry, JD, go ahead.
I just did a little film just from as a personal project for my
Mm,
mom
nice.
because she's 90 when she turned 90, and I did something like that, and I do get that in the edit
Mm,
once you get all your pieces, and for my mom's film it was like getting all the pictures from when she was little and
yeah.
baby, and then all through the whatever video I could find because there wasn't a lot of video, through the
Mm,
years, but and my niece did a sit down with her
mm,
um, to interview her because
yeah.
so often people wait till someone's gone before they put together a montage of their life. This way, we
Yeah.
got her stories and we did a little sit down interview. And now I have the interview, I've got the pictures, I've got the pieces of video, and I had to somehow make that all. I mean, it took me a while, like
Yeah.
months, to work on this. So
Yeah.
I get that part because when it's all done, and
Yeah.
it ended up being only 28 minutes, and it's something just
Still
like
good.
my family. It's for the family, it's
Yeah.
like it's
That's
not
true.
like Netflix is going to want it or anything, but we watched it on Valentine's Day with just all of us, sat down and watched it with my
That's
mom.
so nice.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and the first time she saw it, I showed it to her on the laptop, and it was just the two of us, and Danny was there, my girlfriend.
Mm.
And she was a little like, oh, I wish I wore my black shirt. I look a little fat. It was like that kind of a thing. Like, wow, I worked on this for months. But when we watched it on the big TV and
Yeah.
all of us were sitting there, she was like crying at the end. And then she's like, can I get that so I could see it? Like, can you give it to me on it something? So, so I sent her like a link and she can watch
Yeah.
it on her tablet. But I get that, the editing part, because that's where it all comes together. That's where the
Yeah.
story
Yeah.
comes
Yeah.
together, right? So that's
Yeah.
where you can make that's what makes or break it. That's all I was going to say. We actually
Yeah.
did watch it on Friday.
Yeah,
Um,
right.
I'm
Nice.
telling everybody, do you have 28 seconds, 28 minutes and 32 seconds of your time? I just need 28 minutes and 32 seconds.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, well, yeah, I get that. It's got to be hard to see other people's films when you're editing their stuff. Like they did it, they're
Yeah.
there.
They're there. It's almost done. Oh, yeah. But I love it still.
Did you have a hand in like the casting part of it? Are you at that place yet, or?
So we, well, we've been dreaming about who to cast, obviously. Yeah, I have a big say in the casting, obviously being the director. I want, the right people and stuff. I'm kind of funny when it comes to casting because like for this project, I ideally we would love like A-lister, B-lister, someone people would recognize because the story we're trying to tell, we feel that lesbian media, like lesbian films are still not really taken seriously. Like they're still not really like unless you're part of the community, it just feels like people don't care.
Yeah.
Unless there's an actor that they like, and then they'll of
Yes.
course probably
Right,
watch it for the actor or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we can continue making films for ourselves forever with, unknown actors that are amazing. Um, or we can try to be a bit selfish and try and make our way as filmmakers and try and get, move up. And so with this film, what we're really hoping is that we feel like the script, the dialogue, the comedy, everything is so strong that we feel like we would love for an A-lister or B-lister to kind of be attached to the project to elevate it for other people. So we know the film is good, and we know that it'll be good even with an unknown actor.
right.
But unfortunately, the film industry is really kind of, I don't want to call it like shallow, that's not right, but like if there's no known people in it, it kind of doesn't
Yeah,
get
it's almost like
as
they're
big as
self-serving. Like
a little.
they
Yeah,
want someone that's going to bring eyes to the project too.
exactly.
And of
Right.
course, I mean,
Yeah,
that's everybody's the common goal.
yeah,
But,
Right.
yeah, I mean, that part of it is hard.
yeah,
You're working on a limited budget, and
yeah,
Yeah.
you got to hope that somebody, like, if the script is sent to somebody that's, A list, B list, that people know,
yeah.
that they see what you see
Yes,
in the
exactly.
script, and they go, you know what, I'll
Exactly.
do it for scale, or
Yeah,
whatever. Like that's
exactly.
always the hope.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, man. I mean, I'm so amazed at what you guys have done so far. Like, your graphics and the things that you're putting out on social media
Yeah,
to keep people, interested in it. You know,
yeah.
like, I mean, I'm so invested now. I just want to see this get over get over the
Thank
finish line. Yeah, I
Oh,
would
Me
love to,
too.
yeah,
Yeah.
go show up at BFI in a year
ah,
and say, "Oh my God,
Yes.
like this was the movie I would." Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
yeah, I mean, I am wishing you guys like
yeah.
all the
Thank you.
best. Is there a way to let people that do see this, is there a way for them to make a donation? Is there a website,
Yeah.
page, link, whatever?
I'm just gonna check that it's still live because
That'd be helpful.
we use this new crowdfunding. Well, it might not be new, but we'd never heard of it before. Let me just see. And it did end technically, but then they said that for some reason it's still open. So actually, let me try and donate. I'm not going to donate because I have no money. Um,
Go through the
but
motion.
yes, yes. So we do have a crowdfunding page. I can send it somehow. It's on crowdfunder.co.uk. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of it.
So they can go to crowdfunder.co.uk and then they type in the film.
Yeah, maybe actually. I'm gonna try that myself too because I've never tried that. Oh no, there's no search button. So I think I would have to send you the link and then you might
Okay.
have to put it somewhere. But to be fair, if you go on our social media, which is Instagram, which is at you and me makes three, like words. So
Right.
you and me makes three. So three is a word,
Oh,
not a letter. Um,
Oh, okay.
oh no, no, you're good. Don't worry about it. And on there should be a link in the bio of
okay.
of our
That's a great
Instagram.
way. I mean, everybody's so connected to their phones and everything.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
would just, yeah, go to either, is it all you guys, like yours and Handsoft, and then you actually have an Instagram for the You and Me Makes Three?
Yes, so the film Instagram is you and me makes three film. So it's at You and Me Makes Three Film. And on there, yeah, we do have the link to the crowdfunder, so that's great. And my own personal Instagram is editor_Emmalie. My name is spelled Emmalie. It's kind of weird. And then Hands Offs is, let me just search for it because I can never remember. Is at Hands Off Visions with a Z at the end.
Right.
It's all very complicated because we both have very strange names, so I'm not gonna lie. Oh, yeah, actually, if you're watching it on YouTube right now, obviously it's written on the blackboard there. Emmalie, that's my name, and Hands Off is her name. But yes, hopefully maybe in the YouTube link there'll be like our Instagram handles somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll just make people seek you out. They can do the work.
That's it.
We'll spell out the 3 on the
Yeah.
thing in the YouTube link.
Say it
So
again one more time.
I put 3. We'll spell out the word 3. I know you said the
Oh,
word.
thank you.
spelled
Yeah,
out.
it's like I know it's annoying. Sorry.
No, it'll be
It's just
easier
so
for
people can like find
Yeah.
us easier, if that makes sense.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so we wish you all the best, and hopefully,
Thank you.
a couple more bucks to just keep going.
Yes, that would be
And,
amazing. Thank you.
now that like we like connected,
Yes.
I'm happy to send a couple people your way
Oh, thank you.
that
That'd be
are
amazing.
creatives that are on the
Yes.
same level.
Please.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah, please,
just
please.
yeah, my friend's actually publishing a book pretty soon,
Oh,
and I have read her treatment, the whole beginning, the
yeah,
summary of
yeah.
that. And the minute I finished and set it down, I was like, this could be a movie. So
Oh, I like
yeah,
that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna
Definitely
connect
send it
connect
or
you.
send them. Yeah, that sounds
So,
good.
yeah, but we're hoping you like all the best with this. Like we've been following and keeping up with everything,
Thank you.
and trying to
Thank
help you get the
you.
word out. That's all we can
Thank you
do.
so much. I was gonna say actually, probably later in the year, we're gonna try doing some like in-person events. So like maybe like quizzes or bingos or cinema, more screenings and
God,
stuff.
everybody loves a
Last
quiz
year,
night.
I know.
Oh,
Because
that's
last
fun.
year we did a screening night of like various different short lesbian films that I'd edited all of them, but they weren't all mine. But
Right.
we put them all together and we screened them and people bought tickets and stuff. So it kind of helped. So we're gonna try and do that again, but maybe with a bingo night or quiz night or something like that. So it'd be great to like,
Yeah,
see.
perfect. I mean,
Yeah.
I like have friends with venues too. That's
Oh,
always,
amazing.
because you're always like might have a great idea but don't know where to have something.
Yes,
You know,
exactly.
Yeah,
it's not
right.
huge and then or not too small or
Yes.
so it's always important that like like
Yeah.
my friends have like little pubs and in
Yeah.
Brighton, the Bottom's Rest pub is just the most
Is that
fantastic.
where is that based?
Brighton,
In Brighton, right? Okay, nice. Yeah, yeah. I love Brighton. Brighton
yes.
is so
Like
beautiful.
like a little screening in those places, and
Yeah, yeah,
Something like
exactly.
that, or like anything that just gets people, like I said, creative, like-minded people together,
Yeah.
For a night to do something. And then not
Yeah.
only are they like either playing board games or like you said, a bingo or something like that,
Love it.
but they have like the chance to network and connect
True.
and all that. And that's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh yeah,
so
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, anything you need, hopefully we can help you. Like I said, get the ball
thank you.
line. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you so
Cool.
much for staying up and
No, of course.
chatting with us. It's been fantastic. I'm so
Thank
glad,
you.
Emily. All the best to you, my friend.
Yes.
Thank you. I will see you
Awesome.
guys later then.
Take care.
Bye.
We're